Greek Americans and Greek American Foundation, that are the Greek Americans, helped a lot with the health sector in Greece. And when we were trying to find medical equipment, we turned to a lot of these people, and they helped us enormously. Then the Greek American businessmen, when they see a good business opportunities, they come to invest in Greece. And it's much easier for them because they know the mentality, they know the people. And when Greece has even a problem about security, and it's always some form of the Greek Americans understand what's going on. So I will use, they're the best ambassadors. We don't want, I'm sorry, we don't want, and we understand that each country like the US or Canada has its own interests, and of course they have to promote their interests. But the Greek American community proves to the United States that American interests and Greek interests are not against each other, they're complementary. And this contribution of the Greek American society is invaluable.
There is a question about the Greek Orthodox Church and Orthodoxy in general, and what has happened in Hagia Sophia, and whether Erdogan has indicated any pathway to reopening the Halki seminary.
You know, what happened in Hagia Sophia is more than religious, it's political. And the signal that Erdogan wanted to give to the world was that here I am, I want to recreate my empire, my dreams, and I don't care about what you think, but what you feel. And when he says, oh, it's open to everybody, but every mosque is open to everybody. I served in the Middle East, I went to mosques there, nobody stopped me from going to mosques. The problem is that Hagia Sophia is a World Heritage, Cultural Heritage institution, and when Kemal Atatürk turned it into a museum, it was a political message there too, that Turkey has a break with its Ottoman past and becomes a secular, okay, of course they're Muslim, like we're Christian, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything, but a secular, modern, European, in the sense of those days, a country. But now Erdogan says, no, we're not like that, we're something different. We're a state, more religiously based state. We have other dreams, other aspirations. So it's a political statement. It's something much more than a religious issue. It's a political issue. And this is exactly what we're saying. What we see in today's Turkey is a complete turnaround from what we knew under Kemal Atatürk. Turkey has taken a different path. I don't know how long, but in countries like Turkey, once you change the path, it's not easy to go backwards, but that's something, it's a bigger discussion about that. And in this respect, I don't know, he hasn't taken any steps about Halki. I haven't seen anything. We've been discussing it forever. The Americans have been discussing with Turkey forever. I don't see anything. The only development was that in the piece of land next to Halki, he's creating a Center for Islamic Studies now. So, all this is political.
Thank you. We have a question about climate change and what actions, if any, Greece is taking to deal with climate change and its effects.
You know, this is the Greek Prime Minister's beloved issue. He is very dedicated to that. He speaks about that all the time. But also all political forces in Greece are in favor of green energy. We're blessed with sun and wind, so we're trying to use other forms of energy. And there is one of the top priorities is decarbonization by 2035. So we're closing a lot of units that produce energy using carbon. We're closing that down, and this creates also social issues because this is part of the economy of northern Greece that is based on carbon. But this is a political decision that is there is no change to that. So decarbonization, using green energy, now they're giving a lot of money for people to make buildings energy efficient. It's a lot of steps, but it's for us it's very important.
Okay, we have a question about Greece's geopolitical value. How can Greece maximize its geopolitical value and avoid being instrumentalized at a time when the United States, China, Russia, Germany, and Turkey are focused on the Balkans and the East Med as crucial geospace for realizing their interests on three continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa?
I think we're trying to be stable, like an anchor. And many years ago, when somebody asked me what's the relationship of the value of Turkey and Greece, or Turkey is more important for the US than Greece, I said it's like the head and the neck. You cannot have a head without a neck. Greece is the geographical position, three continents, Africa, Europe, and Asia. Connecting the Arab world to Europe, a pillar of stability in the Balkans, where you see you have a lot of Russian influence and volatile society, very unstable societies, and also unstable political systems. We have to be like an anchor, stable, very focused, and reliable, dependable allies. I think dependability, reliability, and stability is this what we can offer. And the fact that we have good relations with everybody. You cannot find anybody with whom we don't have the best relationship in the region. We're trusted, and there also the role of the Greek diaspora. We have Greek communities in all Arab countries. We have Israeli, Greek Jews who are a big part of Israeli society, and of course we have Greek communities in Western Balkans. So also the role of the Greek diaspora, Greek businesses. Greek businesses are extrovert. They go in the region and they are part of the economic stability and economic welfare of these countries. So yes, we are, I think, the anchor.
I'm going fast because we have a lot of questions, so I want to try and include as many as I can. Can the COVID-19 crisis lead to cooperation in the medical and public health field in the Eastern Mediterranean, somewhat the way the 1999 earthquake produced an improvement in Greek-Turkish diplomatic relations? Is there cooperation in the health field in the region?
We work very closely with the Western Balkans and with Arabs, but Mr. Erdogan says that Turkey doesn't have a COVID-19 issue. So how you can cooperate with somebody who doesn't have an issue?
Microsoft committed $1 billion for Greek data centers, and Pfizer is expanding their presence in Thessaloniki. What are the two governments doing to continue to encourage further large-scale Greek-American business investment and partnerships that benefit all?
Also, the port of Alexandroupolis is up. We're calling for bidders. An American company bid, and I think got the shipyard in Elefsina. There are so many pieces of business that in which the Greek state sells its stake of the military industry. The Greek military industry is also in the same category. We work very closely. FDC, despite the fact that Greece is not a poor country to qualify for FDC funds, nevertheless they made an exception, and Greece qualifies, or some projects in Greece qualify for a financing on the part of FDC and the American government. So we will work very closely together. But above everything else, what Greece offers is exactly this: stability, access to markets, north, south, east, west, and a very skilled, highly skilled workforce. Highly skilled workforce. So the combination is very good, and the government is pro-business and very open to offering incentives for business to move in.
Ambassador, you talked about a transitional systemic environment, and the question has to do with Turkey and NATO, how is Turkey undermining NATO, i.e. by its purchase of S-400 weapon systems?
I'll refer to the US Congress, and this is bipartisan. They speak for it. Turkey is a big issue. It's not only Greek issue. Of course, it's Greek issue, but it's not only Greek. It's something much bigger. And eventually the US has to face it. Nobody wants more than Greece wants a peaceful Western democratic Turkey. We have to live with them. They are next to us. So no matter what happens, we will live with them. So for us, the optimum, the best case scenario is that Turkey is European Union member, NATO member, Western allies, democratic, a good neighbor, a good friend, and even if we have problems, there is always an international court. We don't have to prove to each other who is right, who is wrong. Okay, we refer the case to the international court and let the judges decide. But it's not what we want, it's what we get.
Yeah.
And it takes two to tango. If one doesn't want to tango, you cannot force them to tango. So in this respect, at some point, the US has to face what Turkey wants from itself. And this is a deep discussion, and it's a crucial discussion for NATO, for the US, and of course for Greece. And in my view, the next administration, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, will have to face this problem. We'll have to tackle this problem because it's coming. It's here, it's there. And I can see that even in the changes in the State Department rhetoric. The last statement of the State Department was a world difference from previous statements about the situation in Eastern Mediterranean. It shows that they realize that there is an issue there, and they have to find a way to handle the issue. But of course, it's not an administration 1 week before the election that is going to face the issue. But the new administration will have to do it.
Prime Minister Mitsotakis has signaled to the international community that international problems should be solved through dialogue, and that he is willing to engage Turkey in a process of dialogue, but not under the threat of the use of force. But Turkey is continuing a provocative and sort of aggressive behavior in the Aegean. Are we in a deadlock? Have we reached a cul-de-sac?
We're trying to act like adults, but Greece is not the one who's going to provoke anything. Throughout the summer, this was the story. We were trying to, there's some difference of opinion about delimitation of maritime zones. I will not get into the legal issues. What Greece says is this: let's sit down, let's discuss. We cannot find a solution. Okay, there is an international court. We'll refer the issue to the international court, and end of story. Like in Greece in this past summer, we managed to have an agreement with Italy about the limitation of maritime zones, with Egypt, the limitation of maritime zones, and with Albania, because we cannot find a solution, we decided, both of Albania and Greece, to refer the issue to the international court. We say, okay, the same goes with Turkey. So by the time we managed, through mediation of Americans, of Germans, of the European Union, everything, that, okay, we'll sit down and discuss, exploratory talks will start, then Turkey sends the research naval ship, accompanied by military ships, in the Aegean, in areas that are disputed, let's call them like that. Greece thinks that they are under our own jurisdiction. Turkey says no. Okay, they're not delimited. You can use any term you want to use, but the fact of the matter is that there is no delimitation. Okay? So, first of all, when there is an issue that is pending, you don't send military ships. To do what? 36 days this summer, we spent having the Turkish Navy out, of course the Greek Navy was out, praying that no accident happens. Because this is a small space. If you have so many military ships out, an accident might happen any time. And I want to ask the question, why you have to send for the ships? To prove what? You say it's yours, okay, I say it's mine. We can have this for the next of life. It doesn't solve anything. So after a lot of efforts, including American efforts, Turkey, and under the threat of sanctions by the European Union Council in September, Turkey pulled its ships back to its port. So we have the European Council in September. Okay, Greece is not in favor of sanctions for the sake of sanctions. So we said, okay, since we're going to discuss, we don't have to impose sanctions, and the European Council conclusions had, of course, the threat of sanctions in the future, but also had a positive agenda. European Union Turkey positive agenda, but of course provided that Turkey doesn't go forward with more provocative actions against Greece and Cyprus to EU member states. So by the time it's over, the European Council is over, there is a brief meeting between the foreign ministers of Greece and Turkey. Publicly, the Turkish foreign minister says, okay, we're going to announce the date for the resumption of discussions, which will be held in Istanbul. Instead of having the announcement of the discussions, we have another exit of the Turkish Navy, all the way around the Greek islands. I don't know, of course, I don't want to speak about the speeches, the statements, the public statements from the entire Turkish leadership, including President Erdogan, against Greece. We're going to kill you, we're going to throw you in the water. They went all the way back to the Battle of Manchester, and I have to 1,000 years ago, and I have to admit that I had to read again history books to remember what was this about. So I'm sorry, we live in 2020. Pretty soon will be 2021. And we're going to discuss the Battle of Manchester that happened in 1020. Okay, if we want to have a crash history course on the Battle of Manchester, so be it. But let's sit down and discuss and find a solution. Because what's the point? We have to live with each other.
Talking about history, next year is the anniversary of 200 years from the Greek Revolution. And the question is whether the Greek embassy is planning any events, activities, or special info sessions for this anniversary.
We are planning a lot of things, but I will not announce them for one reason: COVID-19. What we were planning for March and February and it's postponed now, because you don't want to have a celebration, a Zoom celebration. With all due respect, it's not what we have in mind. So we'll wait a little to see how the health situation is going about. And you don't know how many times we have postponed things that, then in the beginning it was for April, then we said May, June, now we're going a little later. There are a lot of things planned, but even the word planning is a big word, because the way we change dates and because of the health situation, really it's one of my concerns, how we're going to manage these things. But let's hope that, first of all, the health situation will be improved and we can resume normal life. And then everything will fall in place, I'm sure. I'll come and ask the assistance of the Greek American community in this direction.
Well, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because this has been an excellent discussion, and I have to commend you on a brilliant presentation and very, very lengthy answers that answered, I think, every question that was put in front of you. And I want to thank you very much. It has been an honor and a privilege to have you at the Karamanlis Chair and at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy. And we are happy to have you. We are happy to have you in Washington as our ambassador. And also I want to thank our viewers for their participation and their very interesting questions. I do apologize because there are many more that we didn't have the time. Thank you all. Ambassador, thank you very much, and I hope to have you again whenever you feel like it. The floor is always yours here.
Thank you so much. You know, there are many Greek colleagues from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who have studied at Fletcher, you know, with the kind help of the David family, and all of them have the best memories and impressions. And I regret the fact that I'm too old to come and apply, but thank you. It's an honor to be to have this opportunity. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you very much. I do hope to have the opportunity again to do another round.
In person this time, next time.
We'll do it. Thank you very much. Thank you to our viewers, and stay healthy, stay safe. Bye.